Outstanding, the ultimate accolade for teachers. We challenge reception teacher Rachel Atkins to go from good to outstanding. A top inspector observes one lesson. 2 experts will fine-tune her practice and improve her presentation. She also gets comments and advice from teachers across the country who've seen her lesson on the web. Rachel then has 3 weeks to put all the advice into action before the inspector comes back for the final verdict.
It's interesting to see how many things have actually come out that people are repeating. So it shows clearly that there's something that needs to be changed.
Tyson Community School is a 2-form entry primary in North London. Rachel Atkins is in her 2nd year of teaching.
Teaching in early years, I feel like I'm very active. You can run around, you can go outside, you can teach indoors and outdoors. It just gives you a lot more scope for teaching.
Right, are we all listening? How do we play Duck, Duck, Goose?
The school rates her teaching as good.
She has a real passion for early years. You can see it in the way that she is with the children, her manner. And she's just a very active, fun person to be with, and the children love her.
Right, can everyone wave their hands in the air?
Rachel will focus the challenge of getting to outstanding with her reception class.
Blue class is very lively, talkative. I just like the fact that the children find everything so new and exciting.
Yuvi! Wow! How did you make that?
She makes me laugh. I really like Rachel. Rachel's so nice and pretty.
Whole ethos really is for the children learning to be me, and we try not to dictate to them what to do.
We try and plan with their needs in mind as much as possible, but during the day they may decide that they want to do something completely different, so sometimes we have to abandon that and go with what they want to do, which can be quite challenging at times.
The challenges for Rachel now are to look at sustained shared thinking, look at how she can really extend the children through her questioning and challenge them.
Do you want to run to the gate? Go, 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 go!
I just like to just be an excellent teacher.
It's the morning of Rachel's first observation. With hundreds of inspections under her belt, School Inspector Claire Gillies leads teams up and down the country. She certainly knows an outstanding lesson when she sees one.
Now, this morning, do you remember yesterday I told you that maybe we'd be making some telescopes? Yeah.
Rachel has the morning session to impress our inspector.
Who remembers the story? Shark in the park. Very good. Now, this morning, I'm going to be making some telescopes over on this table with the monkeys. And on the maths table today, we have some strawberries. You can count them, you can add them together, see how many are in the different baskets. And on the back table, we've got the hammer and pins, because I know how much you all enjoyed it yesterday. We've got a telescope here, and there are different ways that we can look into different things. I've got some binoculars that maybe you can have a look. And we've got some magnifying glasses. You can have a look at that one.
I didn't know.
We're going to make our own telescopes now.
The pink one.
One for Bushra, one for Yusuf.
I want the pink one. Hello, everybody.
Do you want some help with that one? Should we try this one again?
This is a clever way of making the holes for.
Yes.
This is, yes, Alamin wanted orange, so we're doing orange.
And yellow.
And yours is yellow. So I'm trying to do 3 at once. There we go, 1 yellow. Is that okay?
Let's make them.
Wow, perfect fit.
My one's done.
Yes. Let me just do this one. So that says I can make my own shark in the park telescope. Do you have one? Timothy Pope is looking through his telescope. Everyone get their telescopes ready. We're going to look up at the sky. We're going to look down at the ground. We're going to look left and right and all around. Very good. And this is what he sees. What a nasty surprise. In his loudest voice, Timothy cries. What does he cry?
There's a shark in the park! There's a shark in the park!
Who can tell me what happened at the beginning of the story? Amrita.
Up and down, left and right and all around.
Well done. And you remembered all the words. Fantastic, Amrita. Jessica, do you remember something that happened in the middle of the story? We saw a cat in the middle. Well done, Jessica. What happened at the end? Bushra.
The shark and the dad and a Timothy.
Well done. You remembered all the characters. We're all going to stand up now. If you'd like to go and get some water, you can go and get some. Make a line, or you can go and choose something to do. Okay, let's choose. Which one would you like? We have runner bean. We have a courgette.
On this one.
What's that one? Oh, sunflower.
Listen.
Should we plant a sunflower?
Yeah.
No, you're going to press it really firmly into the soil. Where do you want to put it? Do you think that's going to be good? Should we push it down? What do you think they might need?
Water.
They need water. Well done.
What's the water?
Maybe not too much water. If you put too much on it, then it might drown. Do you think we need anything else to help it grow?
It needs more water.
What can you see in the sky today that's really, really bright?
A sun.
Well done, Aaron. The sun. That's what we need. We need the sun to help our seeds grow as well.
So how did Rachel get on?
Well, Rachel, I certainly enjoyed my morning a great deal with you and the reception class. You have a very calm rapport with them, with nice ways to get them all to concentrate and listen to you when you want. So coming to this morning, what were the big things you hoped they'd have moved forward on by the end of the session?
I wanted them to actually make the telescope themselves without support, which was obviously the main...
So that was the key,
that was the physical.
Yes.
But then obviously the telescopes could link to knowledge and understanding of the world, and how we wanted to get a real telescope in.
Now, the telescope came in today for the first time, was it?
Yes.
None of them actually looked through it that I
They
saw.
didn't know.
And that to me was I was just so, because when I was asking some of them, you know, why do we use telescopes, what are they for? I don't think many of them have got much concept. Then there's just to reflect on what you'd set up for the other tables. It's a question of what is the purpose, what is the meaning that you hope might come out of some time spent there. That's just a thought.
Yeah.
And then we had the sort of session sitting round the square, and there was some lovely miming, some lovely talking. But again, I think occasionally you could have asked another question. Try to extend as much as you possibly can. And if I leap from there up to the wonderful sensory garden, I think again we could have done with some more extending questions. So there are certainly some really good features there for you to build on. And thank you very much indeed for letting me share the morning.
It was fantastic. Thanks for coming.
With the first observation over, the inspector highlighted Rachel's need to make the planned activities link more strongly to clear learning objectives and to increase the level of challenge for the children. It's time to bring on the experts.
You want this one?
To boost Rachel's progress, help comes from early years consultant Hilary Bell and presentation and communications coach Mo Shapiro. They start by watching Rachel's lesson.
Do you remember yesterday I told you that maybe we'd be making some telescopes?
You know, she has a lovely relationship with the children, and she's really calm and patient with them.
I'm going to be making some telescopes over on this table.
What I'm going to be looking at is increasing some variety in her voice and body language.
I'm going to be looking at increasing the level of challenge and ensuring that the children have a lot more choice. Well, hello Rachel. I've watched your session, looking to see how we can perhaps just raise the stakes a little. So we're going to look first at the focus activity, which was making telescopes. Yeah. It was such a shame the children didn't actually really
use them.
And I thought maybe if you did it again, you might like to think about having one session where they just look through the telescope. You have that whole discussion about their purpose, where they're used, how they're used, who uses them, all of that. And then maybe the following day or the next week, they could have made a telescope.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because then they would have come to that practical activity with a much broader knowledge base. So then the actual making of them, you actually showed them how to make a telescope. And then they all made it. Now, what I could see from your classroom indicated that actually the children did have access to all the resources. So it would have been feasible for them to have decided whether they wanted paper, what colour they wanted, whether they wanted things like treasury tags or split pins. You know, so you would have had that element of challenge. Try to inject more challenge into the activities that you provide for the children. You had seed packets, but it was kind of random, wasn't it? You know,
it was,
do you want to run a bean, do you want a sunflower, you know? And I was left thinking, I wonder actually if those children have any idea what a sunflower looks like. I wonder, do they know what a runner bean is? So you could have talked to them about colour, the texture, all of that. Again, it's the language, isn't it? You know, so important. I've got some labels here. So maybe the name of the plant on one side and the child's name on the other side. So they've got that ownership, haven't they?
And then they'd know where they were because the seeds went in and then no one could find them.
Precisely. Also, a range of books. You know, again, non-fiction books as well as fiction books about flowers and plants and vegetables, so that the children can see what they're planting will look like eventually. You know, I think it's about using all the opportunities you can to actually enrich their vocabulary.
We could look at this. This is just a little checklist, thinking about body language and voice. And we've got numbers 1 to 5 here. And if you just mark for each of these where you think you were in that lesson.
Breathing, maybe put it there.
Okay.
Enthusiasm.
I mean, I think you have lots of enthusiasm. It just doesn't always shine through.
Volume, probably about there.
Yeah, and I think you're good at varying the volume.
Variety.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's interesting. There's something there, isn't there, that we could really work on and get some more variety.
I'm going to be making some telescopes over on this table with the monkeys.
I noticed that you're really good with your volume. You change your volume. Sometimes you speak loudly, sometimes you whisper very quietly. But what I think would be really good would be to get some more light and dark, different colours into your voice. So I'm going to ask you in a minute to recite Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And I'd like you to do it as though you're actually quite sad.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
Yeah, let me stop you there. What are you noticing? Shoulders?
Shoulders forward.
Yeah, and just a little teeny voice.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, actually, Twinkle's making you laugh now, because I know the children make you laugh, don't they?
They do.
So can we do it as though it's just the funniest thing you've ever heard?
Okay. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky.
Okay, so again, just tell me what you notice in the mirror.
Seemed a lot more energetic and my facial expressions changed quite a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in your eyes.
Yeah.
And your smile, a big smile. It changes your face completely. Okay, so let's imagine the telescopes over there. How are you going to get them really geared up?
It's very exciting today, children, because today we've got a real telescope, a huge telescope, and it's just over here. You're going to have... I can't think of any more words.
Well, that's great. Can you notice any difference with that?
Yeah.
How do you feel as you're saying that?
Very over the top.
Because my experience is, if I want my audience to get excited, I have to be excited.
Yeah.
So if you want them to be concentrating, then you need to be concentrating. If you want them to be quiet, you need to be quiet. But if you want to be excited, you need to be excited.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the session with Mo because she really sort of pushed me to my limit with communication, my facial expressions.
I think actually challenge and choice are two quite easy things to just keep in your head.
With Hilary, it seemed that a pattern was occurring, challenging the children, extending their learning, and making sure that my objectives were more holistic.
With her final observation just weeks away, Rachel's back to the classroom to put all the advice into action and raise her game.
This morning the focus is insects, so we're going to be looking at what different types of insects there are and what features they have and different ways of categorising them.
I would like you to sort them into their groups. Do you think you can do that for me?
I got my legs. Wings. I got legs.
I think this time I was more prepared with my resources. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I had more objectives. I knew they would start talking about legs, so I had a maths focus.
How many legs does it have? 8. Can everyone show me 8 fingers?
They all seem really engaged with the books, matching the insects to the books themselves.
What is it?
Caterpillar.
It's a caterpillar. Should we see if it says anything about the caterpillar?
Putting out more than just one resource on the number table worked really well. So we had threading with numbers and then whiteboards and pens, making it more challenging for them.
Right, who wants to come outside and do a bug hunt with me? Snail. What does snail begin with, Miss? How do you think it moves?
Like that. Like that.
What sort of insect is it?
A green fly.
A green fly? Let's see if we can find it in the book. Let's have a look.
It is?
Is that the one?
Yeah.
As I'm trying different techniques, it's focusing me more on how I want the children to engage in the session, how I want to keep them focused.
In the 3 weeks since her first observation, teachers all over the country have been watching Rachel's full observed lesson on the web and leaving their comments.
It's been really interesting to see what other people think. Some of them have been fantastic comments that I've taken on board, like, for example, where someone said they couldn't really see the link through all the tasks that were done in the room. So I've tried to make sure that everything that's going on in the room is linked to what they're doing to make everything more relevant. And the other thing as well, like the strawberries was picked on quite a lot for just having a very simple activity that they couldn't extend. So I've now tried to incorporate other things that they can do, so whiteboards and pens so they can write number sentences and just make everything that a little bit broader for them.
With Rachel's final observation just days away, Hilary Bell has come to Tyson School to give Rachel some hands-on advice in her classroom.
The first thing this morning we're going on a bear hunt.
Okay.
So taking on board what people have said, I've tried to focus everything on the room to do with the bear hunt. So on the creative table they're going to be making bear hunt pictures with the leaves and the twigs and the mud.
If they wanted to choose something else for the grass or the snowstorm, can they do that?
Yep,
I guess
yep.
I think that's quite important, isn't it? You've given them a starting point.
Yeah. In the water, I put some animals in.
Are these animals going in the water?
Some of them I still need to sort them out. Really, I need to actually get
So
Eve in
why are they animals that would normally live in the water?
No.
How about, Rachel, you suggested to them that they tried to find something in the room that would make the splish-splash noise.
That's a good idea.
And then they could decide which materials
Would make the
would make the best splish-splash
That's a good
noise.
idea, so I can just leave it as free choice.
This morning we're going to be making our own bear hunt books. Now I've put lots of things out for you, but if you think there's not something there that you need, maybe you can go outside and you can get some grass. Over here we've got some water. Now do you remember a part of the story where you hear this noise in the bear hunt? Splash, 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 splash. Maybe you can use your hands, but maybe you can find something else.
Splash, 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 splash.
Here we come. Yeah, I know, it's really big. Taking on board what everyone's been saying.
Suggesting.
Yeah, an ant. Where's an ant on here? Can you find the ant?
Wow, now, what is it?
A butterfly.
Is it a butterfly or a moth?
That's our one. Our one.
Lots and lots of positives. In terms of still moving to the really, really outstanding, I think we still need to do a bit of work on the learning environment. Now, looking around the room, an awful lot of it is adult information for parents, information for you on planning, isn't it? And I think actually it's the children's classroom. So maybe just think about where you could put some more of the children's work, or where they could put some more of their work. And I really wish you all the very best of luck, and that you will be outstanding.
It's the day of Rachel's final observation. Claire Gillies is back, and it's crunch time.
Now, today is very exciting because today we're going to be looking at walking through the jungle. Today I've set up lots of different things in the room for you to do with the jungle.
With all that expert advice and weeks of practice behind her,
And today you're going to be making your own books.
can Rachel make it from good to outstanding?
Play-Doh animals. Pink Play-Doh today. Right, so I've got lots of paper here, and I'm going to let you choose which paper you would like to start making your books, and then we'll have a little chat about what we're going to do. Luana, would you like to choose one? I'll leave those there for you.
I'm going to spin my first with my arms. You can't come back. Please. It's too difficult to make. Look, I made a little wormy Khalees. But I can make Khalees.
Now, Rena, how are you going to make that stick to the paper? With the glue. Which glue are you going to use? I'm going to use that one. Now, how are you going to make your snake?
Just make a line.
You're going to draw him. What do you need to, if you're going to draw him? Pencil. Do you want to get yourself a pencil then?
Okay, here you are. I'll hold it, you cut it. Try not to cut me. Well done. Now you've got to thread it through there. Okay, pop that through there then.
Now I'm going to put you into groups, and you're going to have a go at writing your own sentences. Safe? Your squash. Well, there's a big space here. Safe, could you sit with Gobble? So can we all say our first sentence, walking through the jungle? I want everyone to say it together, and I'm going to press this button so we can record it. After 3. 1, 2, 3.
Walking through the jungle, what do you see? I hear a noise. What could it be?
Right, we're ready to listen now.
That's us. You're not a partner.
Fantastic. So, now we're going to have a go all together at writing some sentences. Walking through the jungle, what do you see? Now, let's see if we can write this together. What? What do you think it begins with, Alamin? What sound? What? Very good, Luana. This is a bit of a tricky word, what, because the next sound you can't actually hear, so I'm going to write it myself. What? Tricky, tricky. We're going to try with just the last letter. What's the last sound you can hear? What? Can. How do we spell can? What does can begin with?
I want water.
Very good. What can you see?
I want water.
Stand up and go and get some water then, please.
I want the water.
We need a question mark. Right, reception. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Girls, did you want to join me in doing our bug hunt?
Yeah!
Yeah? Come with me. Come with me. A spider. What do you think he was doing under there? A spider. Do you want to tick off our spider for us? I've got some paper. Luana. Right, I'm going to leave them in the middle. Use your magnifying glasses to look closely at your animal. Look at your spider. He's got lots of legs. Why have you done lots of legs? To help him balance. I don't know. Maybe if you have a look in the book, you might be able to find out what he is. He looked like an iguana or something.
Iguana? What's an iguana?
An iguana is like a lizard. You find one here. I don't know if you'd find one here. They live in very dry places.
So has all Rachel's hard work paid off?
Rachel, thank you very much for letting me join that session this morning. And I'd like to discuss the lesson, if I may, like a sort of sandwich, because there were sort of 3 distinct chunks, weren't they?
Yeah.
And I felt probably the last chunk was the most successful.
Yeah.
The sort of first was the next, and the middle bit, the sort
Not
of
quite
writing, wasn't quite so successful. So would you like to talk about that writing section?
Yes. I felt that while some of them were engaged, I don't think all of them were. I think the way they were sat was quite awkward. It was the first time we've used those dictaphone whiteboards,
Right.
which they loved, but I think it was slightly confusing for my group in the middle.
Certainly that section, I think, and you've just highlighted exactly, just didn't quite come off. Then let's just go back to the sort of first section, which was all those activities. The Play-Doh, OK, they didn't make the animals that you'd given them, but they did all do something and create and talk and practice. Your group, again, some real perseverance. So there were quite a few manipulative skills getting much better there. You could see the determination. The outside group making masks, teaching assistant, I'm sure under your direction, was very much standing back, trying not to do. And so she stuck to her guns there. And then the sort of third part of my sandwich, the insects outside, that was just some absolutely magic moments. And the big book, didn't that suddenly focus their concentration? And they were absolutely mesmerised. You know, standing back from the whole session, it wasn't outstanding because, as you said exactly yourself, that the middle section really didn't quite come off. But there were certainly many more really good things going on.
Yeah.
And just looking around the room too, there was some wonderfully exciting things hanging down that I hadn't spotted the last time I came. So there's been quite a sort of lift there. So again, thank you very much for letting me share it with you.
You're welcome. Having taken into account, spent a lot of time with a lot of people and really tried to take on board what everyone said, I just feel that what I did was obviously not good enough to get outstanding, but it's given me a lot to think about for the future, and hopefully next time someone comes in, they will think it's outstanding.